Clint Cosgrove, Rivals.com, back with another edition of From the Film Room, where I break down a selected recruit, describe their skill set, and then we turn on the film to show you exactly why they're a special player. This week, we are featuring none other than Georgia wide receiver commit NiTareon Tuggle. So first, let's talk about his physical and athletic skill set before we head to the film and show you exactly why he is special. Now, frame-wise, Nitro's got a plus frame. He's in that 6'2", 190-pound range, big lowers. You know, he's pretty cut up right now, but he has a frame that can hold plenty of additional weight, and he's going to be a unit with some wiggle once he is fully developed in a college weight and meal program. Now, athletically, his elite traits are really his burst, balance, his vision, overall elusiveness, and his overall athleticism. I don't have a 40 time on him to verify his speed, but I can tell you from seeing him in person, especially at recent camps, that he is capable of taking the top off. He's got phenomenal body control. He has the ability to adjust to any throw, which gives him a huge catch radius. And then, like Jeremiah McClellan, who I broke down in the first episode of From the Film Room, you know, he's very similar in the sense where he has the ability of a running back after the catch, making him a weapon to take the short play, the distance every single time. Now, the thing I love about Nitro is, as good as he is right now, he is at an extremely raw stage of his development. So all of his current traits make him a weapon. And, you know, with continued development, his ceiling is as high as any player, especially any receiver in this class. And he's also capable of being a master in the return game and special teams units as well. So let's take a look at the film and point out the traits that make NiTareon Tuggle a special player. All right, so this first play, let's just he's going to take a quick hitch. You know, we've got off-man coverage here, free safety over the top. Now, technically, the free safety is cheated to the single receiver side, despite there being two wideouts and a third receiving option to the wide side of the field with the H back. Okay, now it looks like it's a third and short play here. So they're stacking up against the run. They're letting the field corners basically on an island to the two receiver side, and with the safety over the top just to make sure that Nitro doesn't take anything to the end zone on a third and short play. So when we run the play, what you're going to see is a quick pass to Nitro. And what I want you to see here is the way he turns a dead play into an explosive play that ultimately ends up in a touchdown. So he catches the ball. We see a quick burst upfield. The corner reads, reacts, triggers, comes down to he initiates contact. And this is where we see Nitro's skills after the catch and his strength as a runner. The corner's able to get hands on him. And if you look closely, if we pause it, you know, there's 5 defenders in addition to that corner who's wrapped up on him, or at least attempting to wrap up on him. So we've got 6 guys with angles when you include the guy who's trying to tackle him. But Nitro is able to, when we run the play, take that initial blow while keeping his balance, and then he immediately sees the host of defenders, sees that they are over pursuing, and this is where most guys would just kind of tuck the ball, try to get the yards that are given. But Nitro has great awareness. He's able to see the entire field, and he sees the over pursuit of the defenders and a path to life. So you see him here, he crosses the field. He's so incredibly smooth. He's able to juke, manipulate defenders while never breaking stride. Now, he doesn't necessarily look like he's blazing here, but look at the amount of ground that he covers with each step, and the end result speaks for itself. He's striding into that end zone. He does it through traffic. He sees angles. That is just great awareness and obviously elusiveness with the ball in his hands. Now, with this second play, we're going to see a lot more of the same. But before we start it, I want you to look at the defense's alignment. Nitro is stacked to the wide side of the field. That means that there are literally 11 defenders inside of him. Okay, so just keep that in mind when we run the play. Okay, we see the PA to the quick hitch, and then again that great vertical burst way he attacks upfield makes the defense react with pursuit angles that assume that he is pushing vertical and going the distance to this side of the field. But again, we see him stop on a dime. Again, he uses his vision, great awareness of what is around him. He sees the full picture. Okay, so in the first play, he breaks a tackle from a defender who's trying to wrap him up with help over the top. But here you see that elusiveness to avoid defenders. And once again, as the play goes on, he's engaged with a would-be tackler, but has the strength to power through, and he barely breaks stride. And I don't care who the defender is, that is an impressive trait. Then he has trait. Then he has the speed to beat multiple defenders with great angles. These guys he's dead to rights, okay? But we do see one defender get to the target point, gets over the top of them, but then again, Nitro's vision to anticipate him overrunning and then cutting inside to make it for the touchdown, okay? Two plays similar, obviously the same result, but different ways of getting there. Now, with this next play, you're going to see his coaches, they do a great job of scheming it up where Nitro has a one-on-one matchup. The play is designed to look like a bubble screen where Nitro is going to go and block for the bubble guy. And then what he does is it basically turns into a stutter and go. Okay, so there's nothing special here about the route that he runs. Like I said, a great job schematically to get him open. We expect him to win against one-on-one coverage all day. But what is special here as the play goes on is his ability to adjust to the ball and catch a throw that's somewhat contested. Okay, it was underthrown. The defensive back is there, but you see him secure it. And instead of going down, he adjusts and then seeks the end zone while seamlessly transitioning from an awkward body position to yards after the catch. This is not easy. I often talk about the routine play looking easy. This is not a routine play. This takes a lot of awareness. This takes a lot of body control and obviously the ball skills and the ability to transition and burst and make it to the end zone. Like I said, nothing special leading into that, but what he does with the ball afterwards and after adjusting is what makes him special. Now let's look at this next play, okay? We have what appears to be some sort of maybe cover three, or almost like a quarters look to his side, because we have the corner with a deep coverage responsibility. So this corner knows that he doesn't have to jump on anything underneath, and he can keep his depth, all right? Now, there's no urgency for him to break on Nitro's stutter here. But what I want to highlight here is not the stutter, not the route, but his in-air adjustment to secure the catch, knowing that there's a man over the top, okay? So we've got the defender buzzing underneath. Nitro secures that. He freezes the defensive back a little bit, even though the DB doesn't have anything to worry about underneath. And then, again, he is able to adjust to the ball in the air. That is an awkward body position. To do that last second and his ability to track the ball, adjust, secure, and get a foot in bound, that is a special trait, okay? Now, this next play, I've highlighted mostly Nitro's ability after the catch and his ability to adjust, but I just want to throw this in as an example of when things go, according to plan. Like I said, most of what we've seen is his body control, burst, strength, run after the catch. This is just a play where everything goes accordingly, but he shows fluid. There is no transition between catching the ball and running. I know this isn't a group of world beaters necessarily that's covering him, but when we focus on the body mechanics of what Nitro does here, we see the complete package. He's just at a different level than those around him, okay? Now, this last play, it's really no different than the way we see him catch and run on those earlier plays, but it shows his ability as a return man and his ability to contribute on special teams, which is a ton of added value, especially for a guy who's looking to get on the field early at a place like Georgia. He is a home run hitter with the speed, vision, elusiveness, and he is able to contribute in all parts of the game. So while I hate lose Nitro to IMG, he's an instance where he came on really quick. He is a raw talent with an unlimited ceiling. And I know from being around him at recent camps, like our rivals camp, he steps up to the level of competition. What we see on film here, it might not be against world beaters, but when you see him in person, he does the same exact thing. He elevates his level of play. He loves football. And so when he gets down into an environment like IMG, where he's going against the best of the best every day, I think we're going to see a vast amount of improvement. And so, as good as he is at this raw stage of his career, his best football is in front of him. He's a guy that I expect to see playing on Sundays. Now, one of my favorite things to do is the NL comp, and I actually dug pretty deep on this one. He has similar measurables to these guys. I turn on their high school film. He plays like them as well. And I encourage you to turn on the high school film of these guys so you can see where the comp is coming from. But he flashes a lot like Jeremy Maclin. His ability after the catch is similar to Jeremy Maclin in many ways. And while Jefferson might look a little more twitchy on his high school film, they have a similar play style. And that's the type of player that I see Nitro developing into. But there you go. There you have it from the film room. Georgia commit, 4-star wide receiver, NiTareon Tuggle.